It is July 4th, 2024, and here in the United States, Independence Day is celebrated. I reflect on this day and ask myself, as an African American, Nigerian American, what is the significance of this day to me? What principles can I draw for my life and for my path forward? In July 4th, 1776, that is when the Declaration of Independence was adopted by the Second Constitutional Congress that opposed the British rule over this young country. And it was dangerous because had the British won the Revolutionary War, then it meant all those who signed the documents were signing their death warrants. But the principle that is relevant is that these men saw the traditions in Europe and also the nature of the British rule. And they had a different vision for the United States. Not only did they have a different vision, but they declared it and wrote it down in a document. And they were willing to earnestly struggle for it because they believed it was better suited to this young country. And I see a similar pattern. You see the forefathers and foremothers, they saw the colonial rule and they rejected it and decided to struggle for it. So even when they were in the US or in various places in Europe or even domestically in Africa, they rallied together. They had a vision for what would benefit Africa. They mobilized themselves. They did not just wish it, but they organized themselves politically and genuinely struggled for it. And the result was independence, starting with the Osage for Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. But in the United States, there was also this dark underbelly, which is while they signed this document for independence, that only applied to one section of the population. The others did not have full rights. So similarly, in Africa today, while there is a paper independence, the majority of the population do not celebrate a genuine political and economic independence. And so the African people today are actually in a similar position as African Americans at the signing of this independence, because they are still under a tyrannical yoke. It logically means from this that as a Nigerian American, as an African American, I must ask myself, what do I need to do to ensure that my people are genuinely free? The United States has given many opportunities to Africans. We are here and we've been able to acquire education, skills, talents. We've been able to refine so much. And we have gained a lot of value for ourselves. But the decisive question is the value we have gained from the United States solely for us and our personal lives and our smaller circles of family to enjoy a comfortable life? Or are we to use and harness those skills and resources to engage the continents so that we can participate in the genuine political and economic liberation of our people, who today labor under the yoke of tyrannical and irresponsible governments? I ask myself, where is the genuine declaration of African political and economic independence for the people? And where is the action following it to engage the process to ensure it manifests for the welfare of all? I ask myself, where is the spirit and the fire of genuine activism within the African people? Where? In the diaspora, I ask myself, where are those who understand the dire condition of the African continents today and who genuinely wish to participate in its upbuilding? Besides socializing and the 9 to 5 and the conferences, where is the spirit of this activism within the diaspora? This is the question I ask myself. I look at the African continent and I say that we need to form a vision of what we see Africa becoming. Define it for ourselves, manifest this in a document, and then mobilize energy around it, build it out into strategic actions. We need to redirect, redefine, and redesign. For us today, celebrating independence is good because we are celebrating the great opportunities that this country has afforded us. But we must not lose sight of the task that is demanded by our generation. We cannot wish and hope for change in the African continent without the requisite commitments to participate in manifesting it. It is not enough to hope and wish. We have to act. And by this, I mean the intentional organization and mobilization of resources and people to engage in the democratic process of participating in electing those people who can be proper leaders of the people and guide them in the direction of the vision we have manifested for ourselves. Therefore, it is a call to builders of the African future. It is time to reassess. It is time for genuine reflection and action. The Declaration of Independence. This means, in the first place, that as Africans, the time for requesting is over. But it is a declaration, meaning it is a mandate. We are gifted and we are called to do more than simply socialize and enjoy a comfortable life. There has to be more that is demanded of us. What is the defining struggle of our time? What are we engaging in? Business and private sector investment is not alone because business exists within the environment that is defined by the political infrastructure of a country. And without requisite influence in the ship of state, you always invite disorder. You can never be fully in control. And so the public and the private sector must partner together. We must participate in this process of electing people and offering people to be elected who can shape the state in accordance with the vision we define. So on this Independence Day, I celebrate with the American people for the struggle they have engaged and earned for themselves. These are examples the African people must now see. And in that spirit, I call to the generation of Africans. Are we prepared to declare? Are we prepared to engage in the noble struggle, in the striving for the Africa we see, that we define for ourselves. Let us look beyond the present time while being rooted in the now and see far into the future. What do we genuinely wish Africa to become for all? And what steps do we need to take in the present to participate in this transformation so that we can genuinely set out on the path for realizing the great African destiny? May the spirit of service, the genuine spirit of transformation and activism burn. May the clarion call for action to take possession of the direction of the African continent's development be heard by the builders of the African future, and let us unite on this path that we might bring value, gain, prosperity, and upbuilding to the African continent. The time is now. My name is Dr. Ikenna, Ezealah.